What if you could experience peace of mind, no matter what life throws at you? Imagine a life where you no longer fight against circumstances but instead embrace them, finding calm within, regardless of the storm outside. This approach, deeply rooted in ancient philosophy, invites us to shift our focus from controlling external events to mastering our internal reactions. By understanding what is truly within our control and what is not, we unlock the potential for a serene and purposeful life. The idea is simple yet profound. We cannot always control the world around us, but we can always control how we respond to it. This practice of inner mastery leads to a sense of liberation and deep spiritual fulfillment. How often do you find yourself frustrated with things outside your control? It's easy to feel overwhelmed when life seems chaotic, as if everything is slipping through our fingers. But what if this frustration arises not from the world's unpredictability, but from our unrealistic expectations of what we can control? This philosophy suggests that much of our suffering is self-inflicted, stemming from our attempts to impose control on uncontrollable circumstances. So, do we have the power to control how we respond to life's challenges? The answer is clear yes. The only thing truly within our grasp is our response, how we choose to perceive and act in each situation. By training ourselves to accept the uncontrollable, we gain the freedom to decide how we react, which ultimately leads to inner peace. Another question arises: can we really achieve peace by simply accepting things as they are? Acceptance, however, is not about passivity or resignation. It is about aligning ourselves with the natural flow of life, understanding that some things are beyond our influence. This form of acceptance isn't a surrender, but a conscious choice to remain centered and grounded in the face of life's uncertainties. When we accept the world as it is, we free ourselves from the emotional turmoil that comes with resistance. In this way, acceptance becomes a powerful tool for growth and spiritual tranquility. The mind is a powerful tool, but often it becomes a source of turmoil. Our thoughts and emotions, shaped by external influences, can lead us down paths of anxiety, anger, or despair. However, true freedom lies not in controlling external events, but in mastering our reactions to them. The ability to respond to life's challenges with calm and clarity is a central principle of this philosophy, offering a gateway to peace. By shifting our focus inward and cultivating mental discipline, we unlock a profound strength that allows us to navigate life with resilience. Our minds are constantly processing and reacting to the world around us, yet these reactions are not always rational or within our conscious control. Often we allow emotions to dictate our responses, creating unnecessary suffering. The key to inner peace is not in eliminating emotions, but in understanding them and choosing how to respond. By training ourselves to pause, reflect, and choose our reactions, we regain the power over our mental state. This practice of mindful awareness helps us step back from impulsive reactions and instead respond with intention, clarity, and purpose. One of the most transformative aspects of this philosophy is the realization that we can shape our inner world. By focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, attitudes, and actions, we begin to detach from the chaos of the external world. This shift brings about a profound sense of peace, as we no longer depend on external events to determine our happiness. Instead, our inner state becomes the anchor in the storm. This approach to life encourages us to see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities to strengthen our mental discipline and deepen our spiritual practice, fostering a sense of peace that is impervious to the fluctuations of life. Building on the foundation of mastering our reactions, the next step toward true tranquility is living according to reason. Reason, as the guiding force of our actions, is what enables us to rise above the turbulence of our emotions and impulses. It is through reason that we can distinguish between what is fleeting and what is enduring, between what serves us and what holds us back. By embracing reason, we align ourselves with a higher order, finding a path that is not swayed by external circumstances but guided by our inner wisdom and purpose. When we allow reason to govern our decisions, we free ourselves from the chaos of emotional turmoil. Life often presents us with situations that seem to provoke strong emotional responses, yet when we filter these reactions through reason, we create space to choose how to act. This choice is not about suppressing emotions or living in an unemotional state, but about responding to life with clarity, self-control, and thoughtfulness. It is the ability to pause and reflect before reacting, to assess the situation not based on immediate desires, but through a rational lens that considers long-term consequences. Living according to reason also means recognizing that the true good lies not in the pursuit of pleasure or material success, but in cultivating virtue. A life led by reason seeks wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation. It aims to develop a character that is steady, grounded, and impervious to the fluctuations of fortune. Rather than chasing after fleeting desires, we come to understand that our true fulfillment arises from living a life that is in alignment with our higher values. In this way, reason becomes the cornerstone of spiritual growth. It allows us to transcend the chaos of external events, providing us with a steady anchor in the storm. By following reason, we not only navigate life with purpose and clarity, but also develop the inner strength to face any challenge with calm assurance. As we move forward in our journey toward inner peace and spiritual growth, self-sufficiency and self-discipline emerge as vital pillars. These qualities do not suggest isolation or a rejection of the world, but rather an inner strength that allows us to thrive regardless of external conditions. True self-sufficiency is the ability to find fulfillment within ourselves without relying on the approval or possessions of others. It is the realization that our happiness is not dependent on external circumstances, but on how we manage our thoughts, actions, and emotions. Self-discipline is the practice of mastering our impulses and desires. It is the conscious choice to act in alignment with our values, even when external pressures tempt us to act otherwise. In a world full of distractions and temptations, the ability to remain focused on what truly matters is a powerful skill. Self-discipline empowers us to make decisions that are consistent with our long-term goals, rather than being swayed by short-term gratification. This does not mean a life devoid of joy or enjoyment, but rather one where joy is derived from meaningful pursuits that align with our deeper values. The cultivation of self-sufficiency and self-discipline brings with it a profound sense of freedom. We become less reliant on the approval or material success that often define modern life. Instead, we are anchored in the internal satisfaction that comes from living according to our highest ideals. When we are self-sufficient, we are no longer dependent on the unpredictable ebb and flow of external events. Our sense of worth and peace is rooted in our own actions and choices, providing a stable foundation regardless of what happens in the world around us. Through this inner strength, we begin to experience true freedom, not the freedom to do whatever we wish, but the freedom to live with integrity, wisdom, and purpose. This discipline creates the space for authentic joy, peace, and fulfillment, grounded in the certainty that we can rely on ourselves to navigate the challenges of life. Adversity is an inevitable part of life, but it is also an essential element of personal and spiritual growth. The true test of character is not how we react in times of ease and comfort, but how we respond when faced with challenges. In moments of difficulty, we often feel as though our peace is threatened, and yet these moments provide us with the greatest opportunities to cultivate strength and resilience. Rather than viewing adversity as an obstacle, we can choose to see it as a tool for refining our inner character. When faced with hardship, it is natural to feel frustration or resistance. However, true growth comes not from avoiding discomfort, but from embracing it with an open mind and a calm heart. The key is to understand that external events are beyond our control, but our response to them is entirely within our power. Instead of allowing ourselves to be swept away by emotions like anger or fear, we can practice patience and equanimity, understanding that every difficulty is a chance to exercise our mental discipline and to reaffirm our commitment to living according to our values. Adversity also offers us a chance to reflect on the impermanence of life. Challenges remind us that everything is temporary, both the good and the bad. This awareness encourages gratitude for the present moment, as we realize that we can find peace and meaning even in the midst of struggle. Each trial we face has the potential to deepen our wisdom and refine our character, strengthening our ability to face future difficulties with greater clarity and resilience. Ultimately, it is not the adversity itself that shapes us, but our attitude toward it. By approaching life's challenges with acceptance and resolve, we transform hardship into an opportunity for growth, learning, and spiritual maturity. Through adversity, we find our true strength. The awareness of death is a fundamental aspect of spiritual wisdom. While it may seem morbid or uncomfortable to contemplate, the acceptance of our own mortality can serve as a powerful tool for living a life of purpose and presence. Death is the one certainty in life, and by acknowledging its inevitability, we are encouraged to live with greater intentionality and gratitude. Understanding that everything is temporary allows us to value the fleeting moments we have, prompting us to embrace life fully and without unnecessary attachment to the transient. The contemplation of death also brings into focus the impermanence of all things. When we understand that nothing lasts forever, we are less likely to be consumed by material pursuits or fleeting desires. We begin to see the futility of chasing after possessions, status, or achievements that do not bring lasting fulfillment. Instead, we redirect our energies toward what truly matters, cultivating virtue, wisdom, and a sense of inner peace. Impermanence reminds us that the external world is always changing, but our internal state, the quality of our thoughts, our actions, and our character is what defines us in the end. By acknowledging death, we free ourselves from the fear of it. This fear, often rooted in the desire to cling to life and avoid the unknown, only holds us back from living authentically. When we stop fearing death, we can fully engage with life, appreciating each moment for what it is. In this way, the awareness of mortality becomes a catalyst for living more deliberately, more thoughtfully, and more in alignment with our deepest values. Death, rather than being a source of anxiety, becomes a teacher urging us to live with greater purpose, clarity, and appreciation for the preciousness of each passing moment. Virtue stands at the heart of a well-lived life. While the external world offers countless distractions, it is the cultivation of inner virtues, qualities such as wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation that provide the true foundation for lasting fulfillment. Virtue is not something external to us, nor is it achieved through external recognition. Rather, it arises from a deep alignment with our highest self, a commitment to acting in harmony with our deepest principles and values. A life of virtue is one where every action, thought, and decision is guided by a sense of integrity and purpose. Living virtuously does not mean striving for perfection, but rather making a continuous effort to act in ways that reflect the best of our character. It requires self-awareness and reflection, as well as the ability to recognize when we fall short of our ideals and to learn from those moments. Virtue is a lifelong practice, one that is nurtured through consistent effort and a willingness to grow. It is also a source of true contentment, for when we live in alignment with our values, we create a deep sense of inner harmony that is unaffected by external circumstances. A virtuous life is not necessarily a life free of challenges or difficulties, but it is one where the individual remains steadfast in their commitment to doing what is right, even in the face of adversity. Courage, for example, is the ability to stay true to one's values, even when it is difficult or unpopular. Justice is the practice of treating others fairly and with respect, even when it requires sacrifice. By committing to these virtues, we create a life of purpose and meaning, one that transcends the temporary and finds fulfillment in what is truly enduring. Ultimately, living a life of virtue is the path to inner peace and true happiness. Through virtue, we cultivate a sense of worth that is independent of the external world, allowing us to face life's challenges with calm and confidence. In the end, the true measure of a life well lived is not found in material possessions, fleeting pleasures, or even external achievements. Instead, it is measured by the impact we have on others, the values we uphold, and the legacy we leave behind. Living with purpose means being intentional about our actions and how they align with our deeper principles. It's about living authentically, acting from a place of integrity, and striving to contribute to something greater than ourselves. A life of purpose is one in which each decision is made with awareness, each action carries meaning, and every day is an opportunity to grow closer to our highest ideals. This kind of life doesn't just happen by chance, it is cultivated through careful reflection, deliberate choices, and a commitment to personal growth. When we live purposefully, we are not swayed by the whims of society or the superficial distractions of modern life. We understand that true fulfillment comes not from chasing external success, but from being aligned with our internal values. Purpose also brings a deep sense of connection to others. When we live in a way that reflects our core values, we inspire those around us to do the same. This ripple effect can create a profound sense of community, where individuals are uplifted by one another's actions and encouraged to contribute positively to the world. The legacy we leave behind is not just one of personal achievements, but of the positive change we inspire in others. As you reflect on your own life, ask yourself, what kind of legacy do I want to leave? Is it one of kindness, wisdom, and integrity? The answer is within you. Every moment is an opportunity to live with purpose, to make choices that reflect your highest self, and to build a legacy that transcends time. So, take a moment today to think about how you want to live, not just for yourself, but for the world around you. Embrace the values that truly matter and start living the life you were meant to live. Your legacy starts now. What will it be?